매번 야야야야야 불러 널 야야야야 내 맘을 고백하려고 타이밍만 보는 나 그런 나를 넌 보며 왜 그러냐고 묻네 너 때문에
A hustle day is all you get on Fridays, when the next day is going to be a holiday. You were sitting in your cabin with your hands pressed on your forehead as it throbbed with pain. All you wanted right now was to go get in your bed, cover yourself with a duvet, and sleep. Sleep all you wanted and until your face glowed. But you were snapped back when you saw the piled up files. Your juniors had already left the office as soon as the clock ticked to 6, giving all their files to you to check. You, being the sweetheart, took it all and now was stressing out to complete the files. It was not actually very importantly needed to complete, but you did not want to leave the files as it is. If it was something important, they would have done it on their own. You again tried to review the files, but then the door of your cabin opened and your boss walked in. You stood up from your chair and bowed in front of him. He walked towards you and stood closer to you, but still maintaining a decent distance. Jungkook glanced at the file on your table and took them all in his hand. You looked at him being confused. He shifted all the files in his one hand and held your hand from his other hand, dragging you along with him. A chuckle escaped your lips and you shook your head, smiling broadly at your boss. Of course, he was cool, but that did not mean that he had no heart. He was the most caring person. If given a chance, he would spend a day of your life only praising him for his attentive behavior. You cracked a little when he started bragging. Who the hell was that idiot who was spreading the rumors of him being cold and rude? Once you start talking to him, he'll be like a baby. You fisted your hands and chirped when made Jungkook let out a chuckle. For a minute, you stood frozen in the place and just admired him chuckling while shaking his head. Oh dear Lord, why did you make him so endearing? You nodded your head, still not taking your wrist back from his hands, and he too did not leave it and dragged you to his cabin, which was basically the room you both were already in. Your cabin was inside his cabin with glass windows so he can monitor you and you both can have a good communication. Jungkook placed the files on his table and moved towards a small coffee machine placed in his cabin. He started making the coffee and your eyes widened. You followed him and said, You nodded your head and from the cabinet started taking out a few cookies, placing them in a plate for you and Jungkook. Jungkook made the coffee and carried it to his table and placed. You and him then finally took your seats and started having the coffee. You were sipping on the coffee, but you suddenly looked up at him with your wide eyes, and Jungkook realized what he just said. Without saying anything else, he started blowing on his mug. You stretched your hands to take the cookies, but at the same time, Jungkook stretched his arms as well, and both of your hands touched. You instantly pulled back and gave him an awkward smile. Jungkook said, showing his cookie, which he did not even take a bite from. You nodded awkwardly, sipping your coffee, but the dear Lord was playing tricks today. You burned your lips instantly, keeping the mug on the table. You whelped. Jungkook stood up from his table and came to you with tissues in his hand. Kneeling down in front of you, he started slowly dabbing on your lips.